Visionary goal setting is not just about success. It's more than that. It helps you tap into the most powerful part of your brain, which helps you shift from survival mode into inspired mode. And this is how we tap into our power as human beings. Over the last 8 years of mentoring people on success, the most common question I get asked is, how do I increase my chances? Well, my answer is always the same. There is one proven way of increasing your chances of success, and that is goal setting. You see, it's not just any kind of goal setting though. It's the goal setting that taps into the visionary part of your brain. I call it visionary goal setting. I put this way of goal setting down as the main reason my business has rocketed from 0 to £15 million in revenue. You see, there's a formula to setting goals that once you've mastered, your life will never be the same again. And I'm telling you, if you don't start to use visionary techniques, then you're making it much harder for you to achieve the success that you want. I will explain why. But just to give you some context into my journey, I built my company SiteLink from the ground up. And this year we're on track to generate almost £15 million in revenue. We're very focused on the vision. I'm adamant about that. And we're aiming to scale it to 100 mil by 2030. You see, I haven't always set goals this way. In fact, I never used to set goals at all. But ever since I started, my life has just got better. I learned this technique from a man named Chris Howard. What I learned about programming the mind has stayed with me ever since. See, Chris was an NLP master practitioner. He traveled the world. He taught people how to master their minds. And once I was introduced to NLP, I was hooked. NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is a field of psychology. It's a behavioral technology. It will teach you the language of the mind. So let's break it down. Neuro. This refers to the brain's neurology, the neurons that send signals to the rest of your body. Linguistics. This refers to language, what you hear, what you speak, how you speak, and your body language. And the programming refers to how that language has programmed your mind, but also how you can use your language to reprogram it. See, Chris taught me that if you want to achieve results like the greats, people like Richard Branson, you need to adopt their model of the world, their mental programming. He explained that Branson's favorite hobby was visualizing the future. He also mentioned that most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and famous people use visualization for success, an idea that's stuck with me ever since. But before I started to use visualization, my life was nowhere near what it is today. I'd hit rock bottom. I'd been kicked out of school. I was sacked from my first 2 jobs, and I was in debt. I had nothing to my name. I carried around this poor me attitude where I was thinking my life will only improve if I had a better job or a better situation growing up or more opportunities given to me by my parents, blah, 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 blah. Essentially everything outside of my control. But hitting rock bottom gave me fuel to learn about success, and that led me on this personal development journey where I went deep into the power of the mind, which then helped me master business, money, and most importantly, myself. You see, it's not just me who's an advocate for setting goals. Kobe Bryant was renowned for his Mamba mentality, one where he was becoming the best version of himself. He made that continuous improvement through goal setting. And he talks a lot about visualization, how he would use visualization to go to sleep at night, where he would take his goals and play them out, visualizing them before he goes to sleep. Jim Carrey, probably one of the most famous stories of visualization, was, I think, back in '97 when he was on the Oprah show. He spoke about goal setting and visualization and how it all changed his life, where he wrote himself a check for $10 million. He kept it in his wallet. It deteriorated, and whenever he would drive home, he would always visualize owning these things, saying that they're out there, I just haven't received them yet. And then in his role for Dumb and Dumber, he earned $10 million. See, in his book, Entrepreneur Revolution, Daniel Priestley explores the 3 parts of the brain and how each one influences decision-making and behavior. There are 3 parts of the human brain: the reptile brain. This is associated with survival and our basic needs. It wants safety and comfort. It doesn't like change, and if you do nothing, certain institutions like the news will condition you to stay there. It has its purpose, but you cannot live there. Your job is to elevate yourself out of it, because you cannot build anything significant if you're stuck in survival mode. The second is the monkey brain, which is responsible for socializing, status, emotional responses. You know, it wants things like short-term rewards. It desires comfortable and familiar life, like going on holiday or going out shopping or going for dinner. You know, through peer pressure, you're encouraged to stay in the monkey brain. It has its purpose, We all like nice things, but you can't live there. The third is the visionary brain, the creative center. The biggest part of our brain is responsible for long-term thinking, and when we visualize our goals, we activate this part of our brain. So you need to develop your visionary abilities. It's the place where ideas come from, where solutions to our problems come from. It's the place of the strategic thinker. No one, I'm telling you, no one in popular culture is coming to condition you into the visionary part of your brain. Society ain't set up that way, but I am. And my message to you is this: condition yourself to activate it, because no one else is going to do it for you. I can give you the seeds, the soil, the water, but you need to do the work. Develop the habits, commit to the disciplines. Protect your mind by elevating it every single day. So here is the best way for you to set goals and achieve them. Firstly, write them down. Whenever setting goals, make sure you write them down. It is not enough to keep them in your head. They can't be loose. Make them physical, bring them to life by writing them out in detail. There was a study done at Dominican University, and it focused on how writing down goals improves achievement. And they found that participants who wrote down their goals, compared to those who didn't, had a much higher chance of success. But participants who had the highest rates were the ones who wrote down their goals, shared them with others, and reviewed them constantly. See, they were the ones that showed a 42% higher likelihood of achievement. That's the key bit here. It's so crucial that you document, you write them down, and consistently review your goals. Every single day I do it, and I've been doing it for the last 15 years. Think of it like this. You're focusing your mind, and you have to keep the important thing. Focus. You don't take a shower and stay clean for life. The same is true with your mind. You don't set it once and expect to stay focused forever. You need a shower daily, and you need to review your goals daily. Ideally, like me, whenever you get up in the morning. Number 2, you have to follow this goal setting formula. Now, this is where we get into it. So this is the goal setting formula, and goals must be written this way, concise. They have to be simple, simply written nutshell statements, ecological and exact. This is the study of consequences. Is it good for me, for others, and the planet? As now, you write the goal in present tense language, positive towards the positive, focus on what you want, not what you don't want, and timed. You have to put a date by when it will occur. This creates positive expectations in your own mind. Then you bring in the final bit, which is the visualization part, which is the end step. And this is where you add a final image that has to happen so you know you've got it. I'll give you an example of something I worked on in 2016 for 2017. And I wrote, it is now 31st of December 2017. Enviro Group has turned over 5.5 million. I've earned £100,000 in dividends and have contributed £25,000 and 52 hours to charitable causes. I see myself and my business partners in the boardroom, looking over the accounts on the big screen, confirming the 6-figure dividends as we are to share. Now, when setting your goals, you can use my example as a reference. This is your reference. A lot of people do. Rewind it, play it back, and go over it again. So let's run through it and set some visionary goals to define what it is you want. This is goal number 1. Now, this is an example for one goal. You can now take this and cookie cutter this into 2 or 3 goals, but let's just set one goal. It is now. What is the date that you want this to occur? Future date. Remember, I set a goal in 2016 for the end of 2017. So write out the future date. Bring it into the present moment. Now, what is it that you have? Is it a certain amount of money? A position? Maybe hiring a new role in your company? What do you want to have experienced? What do you want to have happened? You are the creator here. And I see. Let's now make it real. Let's bring it to life. What image represents that goal? I need you to start seeing it in your mind's eye. Remember, I saw myself and my business partners in the boardroom. So I set the goal and I had all of those elements. This is the bit that I want you to start to really get clear on, have an understanding of. This is so important for your success. It is now. What's that future date? I have whatever you want to achieve, a certain amount of money, etc. And I see. Let's bring a vision into your being. This is the difference that makes the difference. Now that you have your goal and your vision for that goal, we don't stop there. There is still more work to do. See, now that you are clear on what it is that you want, you now need to do some work to achieve it. See, this is where 99% of people who are setting goals get it wrong. See, in order for you to start to do the thing you need to do, you must now ask yourself, who do I need to become? Develop the be, do, have philosophy. It follows a 3-part sequence. Who must you become so that you can do the things you need to do in order to achieve what it is that you want? There is no other way. Who are you becoming? See, according to Dr. Maxwell Maltz in his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, the most important factor that controls your behavior in staying true to your goals exists at the level of self-identity. Your self-identity, more specifically, your self-image, directly affects your outcomes. Your self-image is so important when talking about achievement. You will only achieve what is aligned with how you see yourself. You can set all the goals you want, but if your self-image doesn't align, you're not going to do the work. I see so many people set goals and then a week, 2 weeks later, they're struggling to maintain that momentum needed to go and achieve what it is they said they wanted to achieve. So the self-image, which is rooted deep into your subconscious mind, is the thing that you need to penetrate and reprogram in order for you to achieve the success that you want. So your self-image controls your behavior. How you see yourself determines your capabilities. If you see yourself as capable, confident, and worthy, you're going to act in alignment with that belief. But on the flip side, if you have a negative self-image, you'll have self-limiting behaviors. The subconscious mind is like a goal-seeking mechanism. Think of it like a missile heading towards a target. Once you mix your goals with an aligned self-image, you activate the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind acts like a guidance system that allows you and aligns your behavior with that self-image. See, if you see yourself as successful, your subconscious mind steers your actions and behaviors towards that image, towards those thoughts. So your job is to reprogram your subconscious mind to ensure that you hold a more empowering self-image. Only then will you start to experience breakthroughs, because the subconscious mind is a higher form of intelligence innate within us all. We all have access to it. The subconscious mind is a higher intelligence at work. It connects us to infinite intelligence. I'll give you an example. When you eat some food, how do you turn that food into the building blocks of your muscle? How do you make your body healthy from the food that you eat, if you are eating healthy food, that is? Your subconscious mind breaks down the foods and then distributes it to all parts of the body. How are you doing that? Can you tell me how you do that? Well, you do that. Can you tell me how you breathe air in, distribute it through your lungs, get oxygen around the body? Can you explain to me how you do that? You don't say that to yourself consciously, it just happens. This is what I mean by there is a higher intelligence at work. Now, the subconscious mind is that higher intelligence. You need to get it on your side. So you need to penetrate the subconscious mind every day with your goals, every day with your I ams. You need to penetrate it so much that you start to believe in your goals. You start to believe in yourself. You start to believe you are who you are before you've even achieved it. And that is what I did in those early days. I was driving around, clearing waste from building sites, in my mind saying to myself, I'm a business master. I'm a business master. The goals were going over in my mind constantly, non-stop. And lo and behold, I started to believe it. And guess what happened? Life just happened. My subconscious mind, like a guidance system, it just made it happen. And I started to do the work. And you don't know why you start to do the work. You just do it. Because once it's in the subconscious mind, you constantly just go out and make it happen. There's no willpower here. It's a higher intelligence at work. See, so what I'm going to do is we're going to add something to your goal setting, which allows you to reprogram your mind. This is called the I am principles. You must become the major authority in your mind, the predominant voice in your head. And we're going to do it by adding it to your goals. You see, these I am principles is basically telling yourself, I am, present tense language, this or that. For example, the sales girl who wants to master her craft as a saleswoman, she must tell herself, I am a master at sales. She has to say this to herself even when she's not. I really, really need you to understand this. You must start to tell yourself you are the things you want to become before you actually are. You don't wait till you're there to start telling yourself. You see, there is no other way. So let's now bring your I ams into your goal setting process. Let's jump into it. So who do you need to become to achieve the goals you have just set yourself? Let's use the I am principles to define who it is you need to become. And this is an example. So for every goal, you need to define your characteristics. So for goal 1, let's set characteristic number 1. I am a blank. What is the version of yourself that has achieved that goal? Think, based on the vision that you have set within your goal, who do you now need to become? I am a X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And now you add to it, my role is. What is the role you need to embody in accordance to that I am? So I'll give you an example. The I am for the goal that I set in 2016 for 2017 was this. I am a business master. My role is as a decisive and passionate CEO that incorporates his business mind with his spirit. I focus on strategic planning. I dedicate my time to growing and learning about others to enable others to grow. And when I put them together, the I am and the goal, it looks like this, because you need to now put yours together. Put your I am principle and your visionary goal together. And in my 2016 for 2017 example, it looked like this. I am a business master. My role is as a decisive and passionate CEO that incorporates his business mind with his spirit. I focus on strategic planning. I dedicate my time to growing and learning about others to enable others to grow. It is now 31st of December 2017. Enviro Group has turned over £5.5 million. I've earned £100,000 in dividends, and we have contributed £25,000 and 52 hours to charitable causes. I see myself and my business partners in the boardroom, looking over the accounts on the big screen on the wall, confirming the 6-figure dividends we are to share. I drove this into my being, and I said it to myself every single day. Now that you have your I ams aligned to your goals, you have everything you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. But another question I get asked a lot is, how will I know if this is working? You see, the magic happens because you start to generate emotional responses from what you're visualizing and what you're saying to yourself. So you're continuously impressing positive expectations on your mind for the future. You start to generate positive emotion. You're essentially brainwashing yourself to believe that it's already occurred. You get to the point where you start to become grateful for that thing you're imagining. This is magic. Most people aren't even grateful for what they have. You start to get grateful for the things you haven't even received yet. This creates the belief in the subconscious mind that it's already happened. I became my own authority. I started to believe in my vision, and I saw myself as a business master before I became one. And I was always and am grateful for the things to come. Once you get to this point, you are on track to reconstruct your self-image. And what you'll do is you'll start to create a cycle of behavior that gets the results that you want. Think of the subconscious as the captain of the ship and the conscious mind as the crew. When the captain says, here is where we're going, the crew should jump up and say, yes, sir, we'll get to work. However, most people unknowingly find themselves in a situation where they're consciously setting goals, but their self-image, which is buried deep in their subconscious mind, doesn't align. And this is why most people fail to achieve their dreams. So to summarize, the magic happens when number 1, you become your own authority. Number 2, you're certain the goal you have set will happen. Number 3, you feel an overwhelm of gratitude for achieving that goal that hasn't even happened yet. You do this by reciting your I ams and goals every day. Drive it into your heart. Close your eyes, visualize the end step, and bring it into your being. And this is what I did all those years ago, building my business. And it's what I do today to carry on building my business. I will never stop. I have sacred time of the day where I go within in my morning routine alongside my yoga and my meditation practice. Now that you have your goals and an aligned identity, which gives you the basis for success, you have everything you need to make this work for you. All you now need is the discipline to do it, to drive it into your being. I can't make you do that. See, only you can. And once you've reconstructed your identity, you'll be like a missile aiming for its target. Your subconscious will guide you. Thanks for watching. Until next time.